Epilogue. 3 months later. Chrysalis sat towards the back of the absolutely packed ballroom in Twilight's castle, observing everything happening in front of her with an unreadable expression. There was a large event taking place, designed to celebrate numerous milestones between Equestria and Thorax's hive. The celebration was being held only a day before Hearthswarming Eve. Princess Twilight had said it would add another layer of love and friendship to the coming year, making the energy that much more powerful. So a massive number of reformed changelings were down on the ballroom dance floor, dancing with either other changelings or with ponies that were in attendance. And it was an almost perfect 1-to-1 ratio of changelings and ponies, and the smiles they were sharing were warming to the eyes of most. Chrysalis, for her part, was mostly unmoved. In truth, she was conflicted about how to feel about all of this. She'd not spoken to any of her hives since she left 9 months ago. She wasn't even sure they knew she had undergone the metamorphosis. Either way, she simply observed the joy below with a neutral expression. "You sure you don't want to join the dance?" Tone asked from her side, rubbing her shoulder gently with his own.
"I'm sure,"
Chrysalis said, closing her eyes and just listening to the lovely music being provided by a full orchestra. "Are you still worried they'll reject you?" Tone asked gently, wrapping a foreleg reassuringly over Chrysalis's shoulders.
"I'd be lying if I said no."
Tone gave a small nod. "I gotcha." He looked around for a few seconds before standing up. "Hey, I'll be right back, alright?"
"Where are you going?"
"Just saw my dad down on the dance floor. Haven't spoken to him since before you moved in, so I bet he has all sorts of questions. Maybe I'll introduce you to?" Tone said as he began to trot for the dance floor below.
"All right, I'll be here,"
Chrysalis called after him before settling down and resting her eyes a bit. She let herself sway slightly as the music in the room made its way into a new, very slow and very relaxing song.
"Queen Chrysalis?"
A male voice asked tentatively from her left. Chrysalis opened her eyes and looked over, spotting Thorax approaching her slowly.
"Hello, Thorax,"
Chrysalis greeted with no notable emotion. She looked at him with a curious but heavily analytical gaze.
I see you changed,"
Thorax noted awkwardly. Chrysalis gave a snort.
"You're a king now, Thorax. Can you try and have a bit more social confidence?"
Thorax cleared his throat before laughing sheepishly.
Sorry, just, well, you know. Last time I saw you, you were kinda angry. Devastated, depressed, heartbroken, vengeful. I could go on,"
Chrysalis said dryly before turning her eyes toward the dance floor again.
"I'm sorry, Thorax,"
Chrysalis said firmly, standing up and turning to face the changeling king.
"I have a question for you, yes or no?"
She stepped forward and looked him blankly in the eyes for several seconds.
"Are they happy?" "Yes, they are,"
Thorax managed to say with a measure of confidence in his voice.
"It's been a bit of an adjustment, but, well, we're adapted to our new bodies and biologies pretty well, I think. And not having to eat love is such a relief."
Chrysalis nodded before looking down to the drones, her children, down on the dance floor. A distant look came to her eyes as she wondered if she should go talk to them.
If you want to talk to the others, I can bring them up here,"
Thorax suggested as if reading her mind.
"No, there's no need for that tonight. Let them do their dance. Let them have their fun. And spread their joy. A reunion with their abusive old mother will only disrupt all of that right now."
Chrysalis replied with a small smile. She turned back to Thorax.
"Another time, perhaps." "All right. It's good to see you like this, Chrysalis. Thorax, if you insist on calling me Chrysalis, I won't stop you. Just remember that was part of the ranking system. I'm not the queen anymore. You don't have to call me by my name,
Chrysalis said gently, looking at Thorax with a warm, if somewhat sad, smile. Thorax nodded.
All right. Well, good night, then, Mother. You too,
Chrysalis said as Thorax turned and walked away. For a few moments, she simply stood there before turning and trotting out of the room and onto a nearby balcony overlooking the snow-covered landscape. She took a moment to just enjoy the quiet and the serene landscape, taking in a deep breath. "Like it out here?" Tone asked a few minutes later as he joined her on the balcony.
It's better for thinking when you aren't surrounded by a lot of noise,
Chrysalis said absently, lowering herself slightly to be more on Tone Shift's height. "I guess," Tone replied quietly, looking over the moonlit landscape with a smile on his face. Chrysalis shot him a small smile before wrapping a foreleg over his shoulder.
Where's your dad?
"Oh, he said he'll meet us back at my place. Said it'll give him something to look forward to." Chrysalis hummed an affirmation before the two basked in the silence and warmth they shared. "It's going to be midnight in a bit," Tone noted in a whisper as Chrysalis started rocking them back and forth slowly.
Wanna do a cliché?
"What, you mean time it?" Tone gave Chrysalis an amused glance.
Well, you brought it up.
Chrysalis shot back with a playful smile. So I did. The two turned so they were facing each other in their embrace. The clock tower in Ponyville began to chime, signaling the coming of midnight. There weren't any words needed. Chrysalis and Toneshift leaned in and kissed each other softly, but passionately, a flurry of various fireworks being set off all across Ponyville and Equestria in celebration, lighting the sky and surrounding lands in a warm, comforting glow. A glow that Toneshift and Chrysalis were more than happy to share.